Please spread all over the globe, let us cross their plan. Comment of the translator. I'm translating this text because I think the world should know about the content. I'm personally of the opinion that this whistleblower report is absolutely true and authentic, as everything fits perfectly to what we are aware about. I do not care about how many institutions will claim it was a fake, because most institutions follow their own hidden agenda, while we are independent and working without payment just for the spreading of what we consider as truth. The world must know what is going on in Europe and especially in Germany. The evening news on TV will not report about. Even reading this content the first time was horrible. This is the reason why we call it the face of the Antichrist. For those of you who cannot imagine that evil of that sort would really exist, PLS. Educate yourselves about the Morgenthau plan, the Houghton plan, the Caligari plan. Super lodges. Must read, Gerard Menuhin, Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil. Phoenix Journals number 39, 40 and 41. I have personally looked over the email very critically, checking out style, grammar, possible contradictions and personal imprint of the author, who is, besides, in no way anonymous. She signs by her full name. Diplodoting, adequate German expression for MSc or Meng, for Master of Engineering, Dr. Ostia Emilia Dominikas, suffering from leukemia since 2014, having nothing to lose and believing she will pass before end of the year. The text is the content of a German YouTube video by a producer calling himself Zerbuster. He is publishing the email he receives, and this whistleblower email is number 10. If you search for Zerbuster and Zashkaya post number 10, you will be able to find the video. We have learned meanwhile that the producer had a well-known YouTube channel before, with a great number of followers, which YouTube deleted. Guess why? The name of the person Zerbuster is stated to be Brandon Lakefield on the video. His email is wiki@zerbuster.org. www.youtube.com web link. We consider it vital to save this material, so that it can be put on again in case censorship will hit again. If you for yourselves come to the conclusion that this report was true, then please help spreading this, put it into discussion platforms and websites, send it on to your friends. We, as humanity, are at the crossroads point and must make sure to take the direction which will not trap us but lead us upon the path of divine evolution. Humanity's destination is to be a blessing for the planet, nothing else. And this is the path we must take. Bolded words in the text marked by the translator. Leaked, official agenda for the destruction of Germany. Face of the Antichrist visible. Whistleblower report by Dippling. Dr. Ostia Emilia Dominikas. Translated into English from the German original by Brain Activator. September 2016. Email titled, A Life Story of Horror. Sent to Brandon Lakefield, wiki@zerbuster.org. On 19th of September 2016. On 5.53 hours, supposed AM, data content 36 kilobits. By Ostia. You can watch the header on the YouTube. Dear Brandon Lakefield, nice pseudonym. At first, thank you very much for the many encouraged videos you published, for adding sound to words of the people and for having the heart to publicly spread, and even without any balance, and on taking the full risk in our fascist German dictatorship, where anything becomes censored and distorted. This is a remarkable performance. Unfortunate that people like you have become so rare. Most people duck down, in an elusive hope that it would get better someday. In advance I would like to ask you to regard me as a nutcase, conspiracy theorist, or what expression ever you best go along with. This way it is likely to become easier for you to buy into what I have to tell. Please excuse my missing paragraphs or one or the other typo. The remnants of my ability to concentrate have been taken by my latest chemo and I'm trying hard to keep myself together. My profession is an engineer for tunnel construction, especially gauge pressure armor reinforcement facilities. More clearly, constructor for deep bunker sites. My personal story commences in February 2001, when the BBR, Bundesamt für Bauordnung und Raum, a German office for architectural control and compartment, was calling for tenders on 7 locations designated for building sites for area safeguarding of the population, in case of mass evacuation. My person as well as 6 further experts on that specific field were collecting at the planning office at Kassel, on 23rd of March 2001. At first we had to sign 10 different declarations of secrecy of 10 different government departments, among them 2 which were classified as top secret documents, for the Ministry of Defense. Bundy's Vertigoguns Ministerium. I was wondering why, as evacuation sites for the population are in no way classified top secret. Generally they are public and you can even visit them after inquiring at the BBR. In the afternoon we were taken to Ramstein Air Base by helicopters of the Federal Armed Forces where our complete planning staff collected. I was advised to take leadership of PG-4, planning group. At the dinner buffet taking place at the wardroom of the airbase we then were approaching each other, leading conversations on the goals. The next morning they presented to us the locations, areas as well as the master plan. We had to build 7 deep bunker complexes at 7 different locations in Germany, with underground train connections, coves for stocking material, independent geothermic energy supply and water supply from deep wells. Every single complex was destinated to shelter 300,000 people. The locations are as follows: Kassel, Sill, Fürth, Simmern, Berlin West, Lüneburg, Görlitz. Comment of the translator: strange that there is obviously no single site in the very southern part of Germany. Fürth is the most southern location, so the most wealthy regions of Germany, Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg, would have absolutely no base of that sort. The first drillings were covered as road-building activities and remained completely in the dark, because of the secondariness of cities and rural districts. We were astonished that in my own project absolutely nobody in Simmern seemed to raise even the slightest form of suspicion. The population remained absolutely clueless and still is. In 2004 we had mined 12 chambers in Beg 3, depth of 70 meters in the rock of Hansra. In February 2004 we got assistance of an Australian crew of specialists for diamond mining, as the extremely hard sediment layers had caused us delay in the schedule. In July we had finished 16 chambers. The planning staff of the Ministry of Defense then collected all of us in Berlin, end of July 2004, where we were presented changed plans. The plan had now added 16 further chambers for stocking of explosive goods as well as 4 large chambers with heavy-duty elevators for track vehicles, aircraft as well as 2 areas for simulators of urban territory. I was really astonished, and there was even protesting among us, as we most likely would not have been prepared to be involved into a military bunker project, having been aware of that kind of information 3 years earlier. What really amazed me even more is the fact that the plan provided a chapel, or better a mosque, to be more precise, while there was obviously no Christian accommodation planned. In June 2005 we had finished the new chambers. However, there arose problems with waste dump. Common strategies like compaction and floating out, like on normal sites, did not bring us on. Therefore the dump was pumped up with the help of deep well water and rock shredders and distributed in the environmental forests. That worked astoundingly well, but unfortunately floating out caused considerable dying of trees. The regional government covered it by a PR campaign about pest infestation. On 14th of November 2005 we were invited for a briefing, being introduced to the Chief of the Federal Chancellery as well as to the new Chancellor, Merkel. Afterwards we were being told that our progress was considered to be fine and our projects were furthermore subject to highest agreement. Just about 1 week later this mentally slightly disabled daughter of a priest then became the CEO of the BRD Corporation, as the new German expression goes. This winter I was taking my first long vacation on Maui, Hawaii, sponsored by the Rockefeller Corporation. There I met several political operatives, informed about our work and trying to enthuse us about their building projects, for example in Canada, Netherlands, Argentina or France, as soon as the German sites were operating. In April 2006 finally there took place the installation of the actual bunkers. We were using such high quantities of stress-strained steel and water-resistant concrete that the quantities seemed to make up with the Liuan Dam in China, as well as quite 100 tons of LWL, fiber optic cable for data transfer, lit 12-liter cable for data transfer. Afterwards the technical crew from Israel came in, doing the installations of energy and light. All of that was so expensive that in 2006 alone we had to correct the specified budget upwards for 6 times. Politics got under pressure more and more by that, so that finally the value-added tax was increased, as otherwise our projects might have become revealed. In addition, we had to use our own energy suppliers, as the consumption of our generators working with low-gravity oil was so massive that we permanently were facing problems with replenishment. By introducing the new law for optimizing Hearts 4, social money for long-term unemployed people, which means the money was shortened under special circumstances, one was able to press further 200 billion for use in our projects. I recite how the politician Frans Montenegro calls the receivers of Hearts 4, vegetables, or unworthy human material, which is obviously a common insider term. In January 2007 the shell including electronics was finished, as well as 2 long-distance tunnels leading to the complex Kassel and Firth. Then the rail was installed by French specialists, who also supplied the adequate trains including boxes for troop transport. These boxes are set up in a way that they can be transported by either one of the 34 aircraft or by the deep underground train. They can take 400 men with full equipment, or 16 men in tank battle equipment, or 2 tanks. The train can run 100 km per hour and the rail is completely underground. The complete complex is hermetically sealed and closed in itself. Our complex comprises 16 elevators which can take 14 armored tanks and 60 men. The exits are fully camouflaged as water protection buildings or power transformer buildings or wireless sender buildings. The complex is completely safe against nuclear attacks, according to VNN-22B, and will stand even a direct hit in the range of 500 kilotons, without suffering pressure loss. All of the quality control, inner painting and the first supplies of equipment to be installed, like large capacity computers, sanitary facilities, etc., was done parallelly. In 2008 we received order to drill 8 further fuel slots for storing each 200.000 cubic meters diesel, heavy oil and kerosene. In addition, freshwater tanks and a large-size stock for freeze-dried food for 200.000 soldiers, 10.000 men staff and further 6,000 clerks and professional indoctrinated female entertainers, whores, all of that lasted until 2009. The installation comprised a complete mosque, in all locations. I noticed especially that in terms of the freeze-dried food one was extremely paying attention to it being whole-suited and never contained pork. We had loudspeakers installed, in all locations, for morning prayers. The company Metal delivered shiploads of containers with ABC battle equipment, pistols, assault rifles with bayonets by H&K, Heckler and Koch, 10.000 tons of munition, 18 sleeping rooms were equipped with beds, 68.003 level beds in total, shower facilities for 14.000 men at the same time, ABC showers in the elevators, 4 hospitals with 6 fully functional surgery rooms each and giant stocks filled with medical goods. We had installed hundreds of flat screens for spreading Arab messages from the Wahhabite Quran, telling that Christs are low animals which must be slaughtered and that nobody was to spare and that it was God's will to teach a Western woman respecting the God warriors, endlessly, by infinite loop. All of these systems consumed so much energy that we had to look for a solution. The geothermic facilities did not supply enough energy to cover the need. The diesel generators were just destinated for emergency cases and the planned nuclear power plants had to be dropped due to lack of uranium, so we had to act quickly. Translator. They seem to have never heard about Tesla. We are being told that the US bases run completely on free energy, but it can be supposed that the US occupiers of Germany do not want Germany to have the Tesla free energy. Comment of the translator. As CEO Merkel was scheduled for a time in office of 16 years,